Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of City Talk, your public affairs program provided by the City of Florence, done in conjunction with the County of Florence and Francis Marion University. I'm Brenda Lynn McAllister, your producer and host, and I want you to know that this is where we grow our communities together, and we do that by sharing information, imparting useful knowledge, sparking activism sometimes if the situation should warrant it, but most of all, our core mission objective here on City Talk is to inspire excellence among our people. And I've got some shining examples in this edition of City Talk, and I want you to join me in welcoming to the show today Carlos Washington, who is a coach now through the City Recreation Department, and one of its proteges, Magan, a ninth grader, tennis star. I'm going to say star. I can say that. Anybody that's been doing tennis 10 years has to be good. Guys, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming. I got a phone call not so long ago about an upcoming event that affects a lot of young people in our audience area. And they were telling me about the international games, and it sounded like to me, just listening to that end of the conversation, like an Olympics of sorts. Tell us about these summer games and what we can expect, Mr. Washington.
Okay, it's called the International Children's Games, and it is it's a kids Olympics.
Okay.
Ages 12 through 15. Each year there's a host country that will hold games. It could be anywhere. It could be in Greece. It could be in Bangkok. This year is going to be in Windsor, Essex, Canada.
And children from the Florence area will be traveling to Canada.
Yes, Florence is sending a team. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's going to be almost 80 teams that's going to be representing their particular cities and countries.
Now, you've traveled 4 summers, I believe, in a row, even though you just retired after 32 years with the Florence Fire Department. Yay on that. But tell us about some of the history of these games and some of the medals that you brought back.
Okay, well, I can tell you a little history about the games for Florence in general.
Okay.
In 2002, Florence was invited to the games in Austria. In 2003, it was invited to the games in Poland, which they went to. In 2004, we were invited to the games in Cleveland, Ohio, and we took a huge delegation to that. We took about 32 people as the coaches and players. In 2005, we was invited to the games in Coventry, England, and we took, I think it was like 20. A delegation of 20.
That's a heck of a lot of opportunity, Megan. I can see why you are enthused about getting ready to travel at the end of your school year. Now, you've invested 10 years of your young life. You're a ninth grader, so you're a teenager, but you've been playing tennis for 10 years, am I right? Yeah. Tell us about that experience and what draws you to the sport and what it means to be representing the city of Florence.
It's a major honor, and I'm really excited. I've been training hard and hoping to really do well, and I'm trying to represent well.
I'm sure you will. Tell me what your training day looks like. What average hours put in?
I go to school from 8:10 to 3:20, and then straight from there I go to the courts and hit from 4 to 6, and we hit for about an hour and a half, and then we do fitness for the last 30 minutes.
Wow, it sounds as though it never stops, but it's going to pay off.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes you have to give up movies and pizza and all the typical things that ninth graders love, but tell me the value of the payoff.
It's huge, and it's irreplaceable. I mean, going out and playing a bunch of different people and getting to know different people and traveling everywhere. I've been all over the East Coast.
Wow.
I think giving up pizza and movies is
worth
it.
Okay, because they'll always be there.
Yeah.
And reruns will always be available. You are going to Canada. Do you have a reputation up and down the East Coast where you've traveled? Do they fear you?
Well, I mean, I hope so.
Young people are so delightful. So when you go and you're hitting the ball, what are you thinking of long term? You're just playing after school, and it's probably a friend of yours, or maybe not. But is everybody an adversary, and what are you thinking of yourself or for yourself? In other words, your goals long term.
I mean, I would like to be able to go on a pro tour for a little while. I recently got back from Sumter this weekend, and I got to play, and I won one qualifying round, and I ended up losing the next, but it was a great experience.
Well, Coach Washington, all I can do is be a chaperone, but if I can go and follow kids with this kind of youthful exuberance and drive and ambition, you just give me a call. I'll find the time to support of the teams that represent the city of Florence's recreation department. What other categories other than tennis? Was there swimming and
If I'm not mistaken, I think they got 8 games, and obviously tennis,
Mhm.
track and field.
Mhm.
Track and field is a core sport, so in any of these games, every year they have to have track and field. I think the other one is, it may be swimming.
Mhm.
And then after that, the whole city gets to pick the other ones.
Mhm.
Now, we're sending a basketball team, a gymnastics team, obviously the tennis and track.
All right. And you want the community to know about this and encourage these young people. And is there a website, or can we just go to the cityoflorence.com?
Okay, you can go to the cityoflorence.com, but if you want to go to the ICG games,
Uh-huh.
go to icg.org.
ICG.org.
And it'll give you the history of it. It's been going on since 1967.
Okay, and that's the International Children's Game. And it is a preamble to Olympics for somebody.
It is.
They
It's
pick the
just
best
like
and the
Olympics.
brightest.
It's just like the Olympics. From the start, where you march in, representing your country with the flags and all of that stuff. And to the finish when, everybody shows up to say goodbye and everything like that.
Give me an idea. If Florence wins every round and every round goes higher, and I know you expected to bring home something big.
Well, this year I'm expecting to bring home the gold.
But how many days can this run, and how long can these children last and outwit and outplay?
It normally lasts tentatively about 4 days, 4 to 5 days.
Okay.
Now, if you go to a city that's going to have a bigger influx of children, it might last up to 6.
I see. Okay. All right. Well, we certainly want to I want to thank you both for coming to make our viewers aware of what I call them little hidden nuggets about Florence, and we're doing some featuring the highlights of things that are not taxes and government all the time. And surely this is a human interest episode, and I want to thank you for coming and sharing with us. Going to Canada within the next 30 days, and
Well, probably the next 60.
within the next 60 days.
We're going August the 14th through the 19th.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, and finally, tell us, obviously you have a strong affinity to the city of Florence because after, I said, 32 years of you working there, you actually turned around and came back and are saying thank you by training and upbuilding its youth. Talk about how the city affords opportunity for you both. I think we got a minute each.
How the city,
Affords opportunity for
Well,
you to come and mold its character and its youth.
well, I'm grateful for the city because, they always give me the opportunity to go ahead and, like you said, try to mold these kids. Let them see what it's like outside of Florence. Let them see a different country. Can you imagine being 12 to 15 years old and you're in Canada, or you're in Bangkok, Thailand, or you're in Greece? Some of us as adults will never get the opportunity to do it.
Right. Talk about what it means to you.
It's huge, and it's an honor. I've always wanted to do something like this, go and travel and everything. And I've never been anywhere out of the U.S., and it's going to be a great experience, meet a lot of new and interesting people from, how many countries are going, 36 or something? Meet in there.
Now, one thing she will find out once she gets there, that all the kids are still the same.
Is that right? And we've got time for you to give a word about parental support. Your mom is actually here in the studio with us. Talk about parental support, and then you talk about parental support.
I love having parents, and especially my parents there, because when you look in the crowd, you have a face that you know, and over there cheering for you. It's a great feeling to know that they're proud of you, and all the other parents, and just having family there, knowing.
Yes, ma'am, I do know.
Well, I'm equally proud of this delegation because we're taking a huge amount of people.
You going to Canada by bus or by plane?
We're flying from Myrtle Beach to Detroit,
Mhm.
and then we're going to bus from Detroit over to Windsor, which is going to take about 20 minutes.
It's just exciting. And is there anything in particular that our viewers need to know about supporting this effort?
Yeah, we got several fundraisers because obviously it takes money to get there.
Okay, well, we can't probably detail them,
Right.
but that information is, and if they can still go to the cityoflorence.com, www.cityoflorence.com, and then they'll find out everything
Right.
that they need to do. I wanna,
We also have a Facebook page.
well, I don't see how you can lose. I'm just waiting for you to come across that finish line with that medal in your hand. Please keep us apprised of all of your efforts and victories. You've been watching City Talk. Thanks for joining us,